episode of Meet Houston, your newest talk show that has all of the city highlights as well as advertising, commercial events that are happening here in Houston. I'm your host, Mika Diamond.
And I'm Chris Burrows.
And we are super excited to be here for another episode. We have an amazing show today. We had an amazing show last week. Let's talk about last week, Chris.
We had Tiffany Franklin on the show.
Yes.
With Class Boutique. Phenomenal businesswoman. She had an event that's coming up in April. And so we're so excited. We're actually, one of us is going to be there to help her with that. So I'm really excited about her and what she's doing in the city.
Yeah, the event is going to be super nice. Yes. It's going to be super nice. Chris is going to be doing all the interviews there. And Tiffany, she has another event that she had, well, excuse me, not another event, but she has another portion of her event where there's going to be vendors, and it's called Homegirl Shopping Network, where she has all types of boutiques with different types of clothes. They offer mentorship and all of those things. So yeah, I think it's a powerful source to have so many boutiques that's going to be able to advertise not only that day but through her network.
Sounds like dollar signs.
Yes, sounds like dollar signs. So we are super excited. If you have an event that's coming up, or if you are an entrepreneur or a business owner and you would like to come to Meet Houston so we can advertise for you to our network and let everybody know what's going on in Houston. As we always say, Houston is a big city. Very big. Big city. And everybody needs to know what's going on in Houston. So this is Meet Houston. When we come back, we're going to talk about what has happened last week. We got some Houston highlight events that has happened. We got a support of the week that we're going to talk about as well. Chris has a event that he went to last week that's pretty amazing and pretty entertaining.
Very entertaining.
So we're going to talk about all about that when we come back. So y'all make sure that you stay connected.
Stay tuned.
It's tax time. Your money, you keep it. CPAs and fraud examiners. Kenneth has over 20 years experience on tax preparation and will personally examine every return for accuracy and compliance with IRS laws. Is the IRS picking on you? Call Kenneth, CPA and fraud examiner now.
I've been with Kenneth for over a decade, and I have two businesses in the marine industry, and he has been a savior with our taxes.
Call Kenneth O'Dyke, CPAs and fraud examiners today.
Welcome back to Meet Houston. I'm Chris Burrows.
And I'm Mika Diamond.
Now it's time for us to get into some city highlights.
Man, there's so much to talk about that's going on in the city of Houston. So the rodeo is over, but not only was the rodeo last week, the last week of the rodeo, but it was also spring break.
Spring break.
So let's talk about your spring break. What happened? I know you got little ones. What happened on your spring break?
My spring break was interesting because, like you said, we had little monsters running around. So we got tired of them running around, so we took them to grandmother's house so that they could go with grandma to market to purchase chickens.
Purchase chickens.
They wanted to go buy some chickens.
So where did they see the chickens in order for them to want to purchase some chickens?
Well, grandmother goes to market and she always gets chickens for eggs, and she doesn't cook the chickens, but she has the chickens that lay eggs so that they can have eggs every morning for breakfast.
Oh, okay. Are you sure she don't cook the chickens? She's never cooked the chicken.
Well, the chickens have a better chance of running off or a dog coming to eat them than grandma eat them. So
wow. So how much? You don't know how much the chickens cost?
Definitely don't. I don't even want to know how much the chickens cost.
Are they currently at your house? Are they residing at your house?
No, they're residing with grandma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chris don't bring chickens home.
Well, that was pretty interesting.
And they come in like a little box. It looks like a dollhouse and a little chicken on the inside.
Did they name the chickens?
They do name the chickens.
Wow.
They named them after themselves.
Oh, wow. Well, that was pretty interesting. So what I did last week, let me tell you what I loved about spring break last week. No traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I could get to the station. I can get wherever I needed to be within 15, 20 minutes time frame.
Yeah.
And I just love, now I'm excited about the summer coming up because I'll have no traffic at that time.
Summer. But that means kids.
Yeah. But I can deal with that. So that's something that was interesting.
It was
spring break last week with the chickens and the monsters and the children. And what I did last week, I had the opportunity to visit a venue on Friday night and take part in a meet and greet social that was on Friday, which was very good. It was a meet and greet for a series that's going to come out later on down the line. But it was pretty interesting. It was good to be able to meet and greet and talk to them and see what the series is actually about.
Yes.
And it's been going around for a pretty long time, so it's going to be super exciting to see them actually showcase that series. So that's what I did on Friday, and then I went to Galveston to Moody Gardens on Sunday. They had their Spring Wine Jazz Festival where they had Take Six was there. It was quite a few. It was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But the food was good. It was a lot of people, a lot of vendors you were able to shop.
Yes.
But it was pretty interesting. Jazz. It kind of reminded you of the Jazz Festival in New Orleans, but it's right here in Houston.
Right here. That's good.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting to me, to be able to be there to watch Take 6 as well. So those were the Houston highlights for this week, the city highlights. But we also have a support of the week. And I decided to do a support of the week because, you have people who support you all the time.
Right, most definitely.
They support you all the time because they want to and not because they have to. And so there's one person who supports each and every person that is on her timeline. And I say, well, we got to showcase her this week. We got to showcase her. So special salute to Chris Bryant, who is our support of the week. So we thank you so much for continuing to push all of us in our independent businesses as entrepreneurship, as well as our talk show. She's always sharing information, trying to get more people involved. So we want to make sure that we say thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for supporting all of us in our efforts. Thank you so much. So we're going to go into a commercial break.
Going to a commercial.
We have someone that we're going to interview today, Miss Latisa.
Yes.
Who has a phenomenal story, and we want to know all about it right here in Houston. So y'all make sure that you stay right there. We'll be right back.
Houston's amazing venue, the Hess Club. Plan your special event, occasion, wedding, meetings, and more. 5430 Westheimer in the heart of the Galleria.
Welcome back to New Houston. I'm Chris Burrows.
And I am Mika Diamond.
Today we have a special guest.
We do. We have the phenomenal Latisa B. How are you, Latisa?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Awesome. I'm doing great. I'm just excited that you are here today.
I'm excited too.
So I'll give a little bit of background on how I got a chance to meet Latisa. We had a women's soiree a couple of months ago, Chris and myself, and there was a segment of the event where you got a chance to speak. And so Latisa got up and she had her chance to speak. She was moved by the movement, and she shared a little bit about herself and a little bit about her book that is going to be launched on next week, titled The Resurrection: Life After the Death of Your Child. Life After the Death of Your Child. So I wanted the listeners and those who are viewing to get your emotions and what inspired you to write this book.
I was inspired to write this book about 8 years ago. My son, he was murdered.
Okay.
And this book came to me as a way to give back to other women. I've always been a person that supported women. It's all about our growth.
Right.
What can we do? What can we do different? And when I walked on this journey 8 years ago, I had no desire to write this book. I really didn't see how my story could help someone. But the first time I shared my story, it was like I touched someone. And they wanted me to touch someone else. And it's like, Latisa, I wish my sister could have heard you say that, because she just lost her child. She wished, another one said, I wish my girlfriend could have heard you speak. And so it's like people wanted me to reach people that was beyond my reach.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was actually at a workshop. And the speaker, she said, imagine God gives you all these gifts and talents. And if you were to die today, what book would not be written?
Wow.
And that right there inspired me to write this book, one of the easiest but hardest things
Absolutely.
I've ever written.
Yeah. So you're not from Houston.
No.
You are from New Orleans.
I am.
How long have you been here in Houston?
I am a true New Orleanian, but I am a Houstonian for the last 20 years, and I do call Houston.
Awesome. Are you a Saints fan?
I'm a Saints fan by birth.
That's what I'm talking about.
You can't claim another team.
You know,
not in my house.
Listen, I knew I was excited about her being here today.
Well, great.
So you wrote this book, and the reason why I'm so excited about you being here is because you don't hear a lot of women that are talking about the loss of a child. And there's so many that are still grieving, one being my mother with the loss of a child. So talk to us about how has this been for you? Has it been therapeutic for you to write this book?
Definitely, this has been a therapeutic thing. Throughout this whole writing process, each chapter, I grieved.
Wow.
I cried. I released tears. And I chose topics that was pivotal to me accepting my new life.
Wow.
Because my old one was gone. It didn't exist anymore. And so I was stuck. I was one of those women that didn't know what to do. And a lot of the resources that I went to, I couldn't relate. I couldn't connect. It was so clinical. I was looking for, just tell me what I could do. Give me something practical. And that's what I wrote in the book. I give you a practical guide. It's not just about my story, because we all lose kids in different ways. But the sorrow, the grief, the pain we feel, it's all the same. It doesn't matter how your child died. There's a big part of you that died with them. I always say that I died the night my son died. Because this woman right here, she didn't exist 8 years ago. She didn't. I was born again. And that's one of the reasons why I named the book The Resurrection.
That's awesome.
Because it is my comeback.
And you know, I didn't put two and two together until you just spoke those words. But it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. And I know that this is going to help so many women, because there's not, you know, you have people that say, they want to put a time limit on grieving, on how long it should take before you get over it. You know, they say that it's been this many years and you should be past that point. But, you know, speaking to counselors and different things of that sort, they speak of you grieve and you get past it in your own timing, in your own timing. So I'm pretty sure that this tool, this blessing to women is going to be phenomenal. So you have an event that's coming up on next week, next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Yes, I have a book launch party coming up next Wednesday. It's at 1515 PAS, and it's actually a fundraiser book signing.
Wow.
So what I'm doing, I have donated all the proceeds of my book to nonprofits that support youth development.
Wow.
Because
That's
I'm
awesome.
a big supporter that our youth is our future, and if we build our youth up, it may be one less person that takes another child's life.
Wow. That's awesome.
That is awesome. And I know Chris talks to youth sometimes, and he, you know, a couple of weeks ago, he actually talked at a alternative school. So
very interesting.
very interesting. But he's a youth advocate, and myself as well. And we always talk about, you know, we have to cater to them and try to understand what the underlying issue is. Because those are reactions to things that are going on internally.
That's always a question I've always asked. What happened in this child's life that he devalued my son's life? It's always a question that I would love to ask this young man that just chose that my son's life was expendable when he was an innocent bystander.
So I would like to ask a question. Have you been able to speak with the young man?
Not directly, but I did speak at his sentencing. I did an impact statement. And I would definitely have to say he felt my words because he could not look at me throughout the sentencing. He could not. And I did I left him with a few words that basically I told him, I know you did not know my son when you took his life, but you are now embedded in my life, and I hope he's embedded in your life too now. Because right now he's serving a life sentence in prison without the possibility of parole.
Now, did that happen here in Houston? Or
It did not.
Okay.
It happened at home in New Orleans.
Okay.
It did.
Yeah. So if there was one thing that you can say to a mother who has lost a child, being that you have gone through this process, what would you tell them based on, even if it wasn't directly inside of your book, what would you tell them how they could cope with the loss of a child?
Definitely. There are things that I wrote in the book that if I would have wrote my entire story, I couldn't have. I'd still be writing right now. So I chose key concepts. And one of the most important ones that I think is about being strong. We don't have to be strong. We don't have to carry the burden of everybody else's grief. I took that to heart, where I thought I had to be strong for my mom. I had to be strong for my sisters. Because if they saw me smiling, if they saw me moving, they won't feel bad. So I'm trying to show them that I'm healed so that they can heal when internally I was dying inside. And I was not reaching out for help. And so I want to let you know, you don't have to be strong. Ask for help. Ask people to support you. People may not know how to support you, so you may not get the phone calls you think you're going to get because they don't know what to say to you. Give them a break. If they love you, they will help you in any way that you ask them. If you need them to come and hold your hand, just say, I need you to hold my hand right now. I need a hug right now. I promise you, they will come if they love you.
Yeah, that's good. Wow. That's good, Latisa. And often, and witnessing it for myself, and knowing that my mother has went through the process of, I've never seen her grieve during the process. So to be able to connect with this book and to be able to connect with those who have lost children and who have lost kids is a great thing. So we know that this event, this launch, is going to mean the world to you on next week. So let's let everyone know how they can get in contact with you if they aren't able to be at the event. How can they get the book, as well as the location and the time and anything that they would need in reference to being there next week.
Okay, so the event is going to be held at the Owls. It's a Caribbean bar and restaurant.
Okay.
It's going to be from 6:30 to 9. We'll promptly start at about 7 o'clock. I am one that like to start on time, but we will be there at 6:30. Yeah, we have a DJ, so there's dancing. There will be live poetry. I have a poet. He wrote a poem just for the event.
Wow.
I have a dance showcase. And then I will also do a book reading.
Okay.
And go to Eventbrite and just search my name, Latisa B, and you will see all the details of the event. If you click on the Eventbrite, you will see there's a way that you can either donate a book to an angel mom. If you don't know an angel mom, I'm connected to over 100,000 that would love to have this book to help them in this healing. Yeah. You can also purchase the book for a mom that you may know. And then you can purchase a book for yourself. Right. Because all the proceeds, as I said, they're being donated. So you're helping. If you're not helping other angel moms, you're helping the youth of the community. Right. So there is nothing, as everybody is benefiting from this. And I get to be around friends and family that love and support me and supporting me on my journey in this next phase of my life. So
that is awesome.
Oh, you can contact me if you go to my website, latisab.com, you'll see contact information. I'm also on Facebook, Latisa B, and then Twitter.
Right.
Not Twitter. What's the other one? Instagram. My daughter set it up for me. Latisa B.
Awesome. Well, we are so excited. You know, oftentimes we wonder why things happen to us. And then you have to get to the point to where you realize God let these things happen because you have a message to deliver. Yeah. And that's the part of getting to that part that makes it all worth it in the end. So if you are a mother who has lost a child, definitely try to make this event on next Wednesday. It's going to be a blessing in so many different ways. You can connect with Latisa B. You can go on my social media page because I will be having her information uploaded as well as Chris Burrows. But we thank you so much
for
joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So if you are listening, make sure that you share the information. We are super excited about next week. And congratulations.
Thank you so much. Share.
April 6th, Women's Soiree, the Denim and Diamonds edition. A day to enjoy, network, mix and mingle with surprise guests. Meet Houston at the Women's Soiree.
Welcome back to Meet Houston. And if you are just now tuning in, we have had an amazing show today. We have so much that we've learned today as well. But here comes a time in the show that is Chris's favorite time of the show. So what is it, Chris?
This is my favorite time of the show. It is the Houston Fun Fact of the Week. And so today's fun fact is something that you may not know, that Houston has an underground pedestrian tunnel.
Wow.
It's right here in the city.
Wow.
I never knew that.
You know, you always hear about Atlanta underground. Yeah. You know the history of the underground railroad, but you never really hear about Houston's underground pedestrian, area for them to be able to get around Houston. So that's a pretty good fun fact, Chris.
I think so.
So we had a great show today. Make sure that you stay connected with us every Wednesday at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time on Houston Public Access TV. If you are an entrepreneur, business owner, if you are an event planner, if you have an event that's coming up, as well as an entertainer, we would love to showcase you and grow your network. You can get in contact with myself. I'm Mika Diamond on Facebook and Instagram.
And I'm Chris Burrows on Facebook, and I am Chris Burrows on Instagram.
We would love to showcase you. So reach out to us and let us know all about what you have up and coming on Houston Public Access TV, your newest talk show with all of everything that's going on in Houston with the highlights, Meet Houston. We'll catch y'all next time.
See you next time.